Sean Oaks here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location, and today we are going to go over this new edition of our inventory here. This is a 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle. This is, as far as we know, SS styled. It's got all the SS styling cues, the badges, the wheels, stripes, hood, everything that you could imagine. But it just does not have the numbers matching motor and so forth. So we're going to go through it, exactly show you what we have here, and see what you think about it. So of course you can see here we've got the red exterior on the car. We do have our white stripes here too to break up that solid red color. Now our car has the steel SS hood here. You see the scoops here and the grill areas up on top, or the louvers here. As far as the bright work goes on this car, your bumpers, front and rear chrome bumpers, bright wheel lip moldings. You've got the drip rail moldings here. Those are the bright work too. Again, the mirrors and the bumpers, all of that stuff is in really good condition on this car. It's nice and straight, polished up very nicely there on the car too. Again, the mirror nicely done too. Glass on this car, the windshield, the side glass, rear glass, you'll see as we work our way around the car, it's all in good shape. For the most part, we've got no scratching and no chips on that, no cracks in the glass either. And then as far as wheels and tires, we've gone with the traditional look here to keep with that SS theme. We've got the factory 14-inch steel wheels here, the Magnum 500 style wheel. You can see it's got the beauty rings and the SS center caps on it. Again, they are 14-inch with Cobra Radial GT tires wrapped around them. Again, the tread on all these tires is in very good condition. SS 396 badges on the fenders, grill, and tail panel. We'll take a quick look on the inside. You'll see we've got all black vinyl interior. We've got the bucket seats with the headrest, the wood grain in the dash and on the steering wheel there. Of course, we've got the factory 4-speed center console in there. Factory gauges. It does have a few aftermarket gauges like the voltmeter, the water temperature gauge, and the oil pressure gauge. Again, a lot of times people will put those in. Normally on these cars you have that one gauge right in the center that's just got your lights in it. Well, they'll put gauges in there so you can monitor those things a little closer then. So we'll close our door. Door closes up nice and easy. Elevations and gaps on our door is good on this car too. As we come back to the rear of the car now, we're going to go ahead and check out things like the trunk lid here, the fitment on that. So you can see your gaps the whole way around on the trunk lid are very good. You've got the Chevelle script emblem, the SS 396 tail emblem here, and then of course chrome bumpers, and then you can see below our exhaust poking out through here. This is dual exhaust. These are chrome, kind of like an oval slash cut exhaust there. So again, that's in real nice shape. You can see the moldings around your window, and the glass itself is in good condition on the car as well back here. Now we are going to open this trunk lid up. We'll take a look on the inside, show you the condition of this now. Now on the underside you can see it's all painted the nice shiny red just like the exterior of the car. The inside of the trunk you can see it's also painted up the correct black and aqua trunk spatter paint. The trunk floor itself you can see is good and solid. There's no holes, no patching in here. So again, good condition here on the trunk bands. As far as our weather stripping here, these are all real soft. They actually look like they're fairly new as far as the weather stripping goes. So again, everything should seal up really nice in here and stay dry for you as well. We'll close this, and then as far as our tail lights, our bezels and our lenses, they're all in good shape. The bezels themselves, the bright work, polished up real nice, black where they should be. They're not pitted. And then your lenses, they're nice shape too, no cracks, no chips, anything like that in your lens covers. As we walk around the passenger side now, again, everything's going to be the same as what we just went over on the other side. You're just going to see everything from this side now. The body, nice and straight the whole way down the sides. Again, you can see your passenger side door gaps here. Elevations are good as you look down the side. Everything lines up really, really good. Again, your glass on this side of the car too looks to be in great condition. Again, bright work too, nicely polished up. We will look at this side also, so you get it from both sides, passenger and driver side. Again, all the same stuff, black interior, bucket seats with the headrest there. So again, everything in really good condition. The dash also, the dash pad itself is in great shape. No cracks or tears in that dash, so that's in good condition. We've got our fender mounted antenna up here, the SS396 fender badges there. Again, all your bright wheel lip moldings, the bezels on your side marker lights there too. Now around the front, again, this is just your typical 69 Chevrolet Chevelle front grille. You've got your quad headlights up here. You've got your highs and lows, traditional seal beam units here. SS396 emblem here right in the center of your grille. Of course, you've got your chrome front bumper here too, and then your marker lights or your turn signals underneath there. Now, as far as the hood, you can see steel hood, gaps and elevations the whole way around this hood are very, very good as far as compared to the front fenders on the car, so it's been adjusted fairly well. The hood scoops, the louvers on the back sides of the hood scoops there too. We are going to open this up now, and we'll talk a little bit about what we have in here for an engine. Now, first thing, underside of the hood, you can see the hood insulation, very nice here, tucked up in as it should be, looks to be fairly new. No pieces hanging or dangling underneath here, so it all looks real nice from the underside of the hood perspective. Now, as far as your engine compartment here, all black as far as that goes. And then as far as the motor, now this is a big block, however it's the non-original motor, so not a numbers match motor, but it is a 396 cubic inch big block Chevrolet engine. You've got the chrome Holley air cleaner on top and chrome valve covers on it as well to match everything up. You've got breather and PCV valve in. Stock style distributor in here. We do have a bit of an upgraded coil in here. It's a Pertronix flamethrower coil. And then we have the Accel super stock 8mm plug wires in here to finish off the ignition system. As far as fuel goes on this car, now this is a Demon carburetor. Unfortunately on the Demons, they don't have any numbers on them that you can really research. Unless you bought this thing brand new, it's hard to tell what exactly it is. But it is a dual feed carburetor sitting on top of an Edelbrock Performer ZO aluminum intake. So that's going to help it breathe and help get the fuel down in there where it should be. We got a set of long tube headers that empty into dual exhaust, go back into Flowmaster mufflers, and of course the tailpipes on the back, and then those slash oval cut chrome exhaust tips, of course. As far as the radiator goes, it's a stock style radiator, got the fan shroud on it, and a 7-blade flex fan there. That way it's going to flatten out a little bit when you're up to speed, cut down some of that resistance for you. Power brakes, and it was disc brake up front, drum in the rear, and power steering. So again, big block car, those are some nice things to have with that, so you don't have to fight the steering too much on that heavy front end of the car. Alright, we've got our 69 Chevelle up on the lift now. We're going to go through the underside as we do with all of our vehicles and point out to you exactly what it is that you're looking at underneath here, what all components it has, as far as, you know, suspension, steering, braking, and all of that. So starting all the way up here at the front, we're going to go through the suspension. So most of what you see here is going to be all factory stock suspension components. You've got your stamped lower and upper control arms on the car. Ball joints in those are in all great shape, obviously. As far as the cross member, you can see it's real nice and straight. Never looked like it's been dinged up on anything. And we have a front sway bar that's going to help tie the front corners together, make it handle a lot better up front. And those bushings on that sway bar, those are in great shape. Steering, this thing is all your factory steering components here, all the rubber dust boots on all of your ball joints are all intact as I look at it here. Center link looks to be in great shape, pitman arm, tie rods all in great shape, and everything you can tell has been maintained very well on the front end of the car. Braking components up front, we do have disc brakes up front. Looks like we're going to have just, you know, stock like GM components up here. So anytime you need to switch out pads or rotors or anything, should be real easy. Go to your local auto parts store and get those right off of the shelf. Now, as far as the drive line, we'll go from there now as we work our way back. We do have, this is a big block Chevrolet motor. It is a 396 big block. It is not the original motor for this car though. It is a 3¼ horse 396. That is backed up by a Saginaw 4-speed transmission. So again, that is manual. Then we have our tail shaft mount here, our transmission cross member. It's in good shape. You can see everything's all bolted up here, and then the actual mount of the bushing here, that's in good shape too. Now, as far as the engine and transmission go, everything looks dry all the way around here. I don't see anything leaking or drips or anything like that. Next, we have our drive shaft. This is a balanced unit. You can see the balancing weights on the front and on the back of the drive shaft. Universals look good. All of your U-bolts look good on that too. Now, as far as the rear end on this car, let's start out by the actual rear end itself. This is a 10-bolt rear. When you look at the pictures, when you see some of the video here, you're going to notice that the cover on this appears to be a 12-bolt. And that's not to deceive you by any way, shape, or form. We want to make sure you know that this is a 10-bolt rear, but they do put, there is a cover, an adapter plate you can get for these, and you can put a 12-bolt cover on here to give it that look, but it is not a 12-bolt, it's a 10-bolt. It is an 8.2-inch ring gear, and it has a 355 gear in it. So that is your rear end. Now, as far as the suspension, we have boxed lower control arms here. We have the rear sway bar. So it's got all the heavy-duty suspension components on it. That metric 4-link rear suspension, all intact. All the bushings on everything look to be in great shape back here too. Now, we'll work our way back up front to the exhaust system and run through that. We have ourselves a set of long tube headers here off of this big block motor. You can see the pipes are bent very nice. You've got your crossover tube right here. Going back into dual Flowmaster mufflers, which are in great shape. And then, of course, we've got the correct style of tailpipe that goes up over top of your rear end and then exits out the rear of the car with a nice set of chrome oval slash cut exhaust tips back there. So that is your that's your suspension, that's your braking. Now, as far as the rear brakes, I did go over that. Drum brakes on the back. Emergency brake is all hooked up, so you got all your cables here, intermediate cables, rear cables, correct frame hooks, everything like that. It's all here. And then as far as brake lines and fuel lines, everything's run nice and neat up along both frame rails here and looks all to be in great condition on the car. Shocks, we have a set of looks like OE Spectre rear shocks on the car, so they're a newer shock. And then as far as wheels and tires on this particular car, they went with the factory style rally wheels here, steel rally wheels, 15-inch. Looks like we've got a set of Cobra Radial GT tires on this too. All the tread is all matching tread patterns on the car. Now, as far as size, let me just see if I can find our size here real quick for you. Looks like the fronts are going to be 225, 70, and let me go back and tell you that these are 14-inch wheels. So I thought they were 15s, but they are 14s. And then on the back, we're looking at, looks to be the same size on the back, 225, 70 are 14s. But again, tires are all in great shape, matching name brand, matching treads. And as far as the rest of this underside, floors and trunk. Floors look to be in really good condition on this car. Looks to be all intact, looks to be the right style floor pans in this car. Probably the original pans. I don't see any patching or any holes on this. Again, you can see all the stamping markings on all of it. And of course, all of your bracing is underneath here too. Your pinch welds along your rockers are in great shape too. And as far as what we can see from underneath with the trunk pans look pretty good too. I don't see any patching, at least from down here anyways. Stock fuel tank on here too, and it looks to be in great shape. There's no dents or dings in it. All the mounting hardware is there and intact and in good condition. So that's the underside of our '69 Chevelle.